Welcome back. Alright, we got our motor rebuilt in the last video. So now we're going to stick it back in this chassis and fire it back up. I'm not going to slow that down. We're going to fast forward and get it put in here. I think you know how to take one out. You can put one back in. But let's see what happens. So let's check our compression now that we got our motor set back up. Throttle open, choke off. And as you see, we're pushing 165, 170. That's actually better than stock. Factory on this thing I think is 155. Could be a difference in the gauge, and I'm sure that's what it is. It's hard to believe that that would rate actually higher than stock. Factory. 155 on this motor, I believe, is what is factory spec. We're at 165, it looks like. So I'm going to count that, chalk that up to differences in gauges. There's a spring in here. As you see there, that spring is compressed. So be careful when you take these tops off. If you've never done one before, this is your slide. Is your needle. Inside there's a little spring and an E-clip. So if you've never done one of these before, I'm going to show you how to do it. So first off, you want to put your cap. So this particular cap has got a little rubber grommet here on the top. We're going to push it, and through the cap, we're going to slide our cable up and push that rubber grommet up onto the cable. That just keeps dirt and water from getting down the actual cable itself into your carburetor. That's what it does. Inside here you have a little felt gasket, a rubber gasket on the top. So what you want to do, and this is where it gets a little tricky, is you want to take your spring and you want to compress it onto the cable. Well, there we go. And so what I do is I hold it with my left hand like so, and I pull down on the cable, and I use 2 fingers to compress the spring. That gives me as much of the cable as I have available to me. Now here, you're going to look, see there's a hole right here on the side of your slide. It's going to go down. You're going to take that and your cable and put it through, and then it's going to index on the bottom. You see that? I'm going to pull it taut, and it's going to recess in that little hole, and now the wire's captured. The cable's captured. And there's your spring, and that's what it should be. Now, if you do this and you put your bike back together and you crank it up and it goes wide open throttle, what you've done is you've put this cylinder right here out of phase. If you look, there's a ramp right here on the side of the cylinder. See how that's slanted or angled? There's a ramp right there. All right, that ramp is the fast idle ramp. And on the right side of the carburetor, there's an adjustment screw. And you want to be able to push this up and down just like that. If it stops and gets caught right here, if it stops right there, you're hitting. Now watch as I'm spinning the slide with my fingers. See, I'm spinning it like that. I'm going to put it in and I'm going to spin it until it drops freely. You can also line up the slide here with the side, with that screw right there. See that screw I'm pointing at with the needle? All right, you want those two things to line up. When they line up, the slide will drop in without any issue at all, just like that. And then you're going to screw this cap down. I'm going to set the camera down so I can use both hands. All right. Now I want you to listen for something real close. I'm going to push the throttle here with my thumb. I want you to listen. You want to make sure that you hear that pop sound. Hear that? All right. What that is that's that slide going all the way down to the bottom of the carburetor. That means the throttle is closed, and that's what you want. That keeps you from having a runaway. Firing the bike up and it going full bore when you or wide open throttle when it first fires up. If you verify before you ever try to start it, that popping noise, you know that carburetor is closed. So I'm going to rig up some fuel and a fuel line, and we're going to see this make some noise. Steps of putting it back in and wiring it back up. I have not fired it yet. Carburetor's on it, choke, throttle. I did have a bad coil on this bike, so I had to put another coil on it. CDI checks out. All of our other wiring and everything looks good. We're going to jump it, or hot wire it if you want to call it that. We're going to do that, see if she's going to run. So hold on to your hat and let's see what happens. Cold start, like I said, just put it in here. So let's see what happens. Not bad for the first run. We're going to clean up the tank. We're going to use a chemical on that and clean the inside of the tank. We're going to I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try to dye the fenders. I don't know if that's going to work or not. I've tried cleaning them. They're not going to come clean. I'll show it to you. I have tried several different products on them. Everything from paint stripper to oven cleaner to just soap and water. And I know someone out there is going to say, well, you can sand them, and you can, but that's a lot of work, and I'm not willing to put that much in them. The problem with sanding them on this particular model is you have this wafer pattern here on the back of the fender, and you go sanding that and you're going to wipe that pattern right off. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to dye the fenders. Like I said, I've never done it. I've dyed small parts before, but never anything that big. So we're going to have to get us a big tank and a big heater, and we'll see what happens. But it's coming along. We're going to order some more parts for it. Looks like she's going to need a chain and some sprockets and tires and seat cover and a lot. It's going to need a lot. But that's all part of it. It runs good. We're going to need an air filter and some grips and a lot of cleaning and a little bit more paint, and it'll be looking good again. So appreciate you watching. I'm enjoying this. It seems like a lot of you are too. I really do appreciate the subscriptions, the subscribes. I'm sorry, I don't know how they say that. Subscriptions, subscribe, something. I appreciate it. Channel's growing, getting a lot of good feedback. That's good. Don't know what the next project's going to be. We're going to get this one finished up, maybe one more good video on it, and then we'll probably push it to the side, and I'll start on something else. There's a lot to do. Maybe we'll pull the 350X out. Maybe we're going to go for a ride or something. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens. If you got any suggestions, put them in the comments below. Click the like button and subscribe button. Again, I do appreciate that. And we'll get another video out to you real quick. Y'all take care.